Hello, guys. Welcome to this new edition of Mind Podcast. This is Aadit Kapadia. Together with me, our good friend, political analyst, columnist, and host of India Rising podcast, Kishor Narayan, and our good friend and a returning champion for our third part of our Karnataka series, our counting day, results day, and what a insane results day it was, Kishor.
Yeah, totally unexpected. First of all, thank you
Yeah.
for having me back, but totally unexpected, kind of a big boost for Congress in
Hmm.
the state. They've romped back to power after 34 years with this kind of a victory. They
Hmm.
had good victories in '99 also, but this is right up there for them. And I think they are elated, and they should be.
Absolutely. So that's first things caveat, and that's something we talked about, right? That Kishore and I, when we were talking about, and something that I was pushing back on, that I was thinking that BJP would be close to form being a single largest party, but I was telling Kishore that after this was before the polls happened. After the polls happened, looking at the data, talking to a lot of people. A couple of friends were asking, "What do you think your gut feeling is?" And I was like, "My gut call looks like Congress might pull through," but I never thought that Congress would actually have more than 110 seats. I always thought
Mm.
JDS would support them. Now, one thing I was sure about, that JDS was not going to go into single digits. And if
Yes.
BJP had to get above 120 seats there or 110 seats, there was only one way to do that. Either JDS goes to single digits or JDS goes above 40. And people will,
Mm.
or above 30, I'm sorry. And people will laugh and say, how is that possible? Well, the reason is because JDS's biggest catchment is the old Mysore region. And if JDS goes above 30, that means JDS is doing better than BJP and Congress in Old Mysore. And Old Mysore, there is most seats that JDS is in a straight battle with Congress. So then Congress's vote share goes down. And if Congress is going down statewide and you see that trend, then BJP tends to gain in the rest of Karnataka. If JDS goes to single digits, then obviously all the BJP JDS vote share is going somewhere. Now, it will not go to Congress in certain pockets, so it has to go to the BJP. So that is unless there is some independent factor. So that is the dichotomy or the weird situation that Karnataka is in. But those are hypothetical things. We are now here on result day, so let me go over the results, and then Kishore can talk a little bit in detail about it. Uh, you have basically the Bharatiya Janata Party winning 65 seats, significantly down from their last time's number. If I were to show, before you jump on, NDTV and ECI both have great graphics, so we're going to switch between them. BJP lost 39 seats compared to last time, and JDS lost 18 seats compared to last time. The JDS has about 19 seats this time. First time probably in a long time they went below 20, so that's very
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
uh, INC, or the Congress party, went up 57 seats, and they are now officially in a two-third majority in Karnataka with 135 seats. So that is a huge boost for the fortunes of the Congress. And the vote shares, if I were to show you, the Congress has 42.9, so 40, close to 43%. BJP has about 36% vote share. JDS is about 13.5%, which is about a 5% drop. Now, we'll talk about the vote share in detail, but don't just think that JDS loses 4.9 and Congress gains 5%, so the vote has transferred. Some vote has gone,
Not at
but
all. Yeah,
Congress has
yeah,
also gained a lot from the BJP, and we'll talk about that later. So, Kishore, if you want to just talk about these results and what do you think about it?
yeah. You were right when you said that Congress has gained from both BJP and JDS in terms of seats.
Yeah.
Old Mysore region, JDS had a lot of sitting MLAs, and there were anti-incumbency at the
Sorry
MLA
to
level as well.
just to pause you before people call me out. The Congress is not two-third majority, a little bit close to. I
Little,
think
yeah.
they're close to 60%. So 60%, not 67%. So I just had to make that clear. Go ahead, Kishore.
Yeah, yeah. If they had around 142, 143, then they would have been
Correct. They were
two-thirds.
two-third. Right.
Anyway, yeah. So each region has had its own story to tell. Old Mysore region, JDS had a lot of sitting MLAs, and they seem to have done enough to retain those many 11 or 12 in that region. And BJP, while being aggressive in Bangalore, while being aggressive in Old Mysore region, seem to have opened their back door in coastal Karnataka, in Kittur Karnataka, in Kalyan Karnataka, and also in central Karnataka. Therefore, Congress was able to enter through the back door, pull the rug from under their feet, and that is the reason what you have Congress at 135 and BJP at a paltry 65 today. So essentially,
Absolutely.
BJP thought that they could take some regions for granted, which essentially backfired on them. They went very aggressive on Old Mysore region, and they have nothing to show there as well. So therefore, they have extensive losses all across the region.
Yes, and it's good you talk about region. So the NDTV has a good regional map. So I want to talk about region. So the Kalyana Karnataka is the Hyderabad Karnataka
Northeast,
area,
yeah,
or northeast. Kitturu is the old Mumbai Karnataka area, which is the northwest. And here, this is two I want to focus on first. South is obviously the old Mysore region, and west is the coastal Karnataka. So
yeah.
let's talk about a little bit about. So I mean, west also includes a little bit of central west. So
Hmm.
let's talk about the Kittur Karnataka, because that I think is the story of the election. That and the South Karnataka.
Yes.
Kittur
So
Karnataka or Mumbai Karnataka region has a lot of Lingayat votes, and
yeah,
as does there are also parts of West Karnataka that has Lingayat votes, like in some coastal seats and stuff. And that's where it seems like in the 20% Lingayat vote seat, where Lingayats are 20% or more, Congress has gotten more Lingayat votes than BJP. I mean, sorry, more seats than BJP. That would mean that part of the Lingayat vote has at least split. I'm not saying
yes,
that is a full, and
correct.
people are, so that is why the whole vote share thing is rubbish, because in Bangalore BJP is gaining 5% votes, and they're
Hmm.
losing 3% each in Kalyan and Kittur Karnataka, and 1% they are gaining in South Karnataka. So
Yes,
overall they are losing like point 0.8, and they're saying, "Arey, the vote share is same." No, it's not the same. You're gaining in some region. Your margins in Bangalore are going up. You're winning 4 more seats, but in your catchment areas of coastal Karnataka, Kittur Karnataka, you're losing. So if that happens, there is no way they were ever going to form the government.
yes. I mean, in Kittur, Karnataka, the gap was always say 2-3%, and Lingayat, I think 2% of Lingayat votes have shifted away from the BJP, and I think that has made all the difference in the entire Kittur, Karnataka region. Last time around, you had BJP at around 30 out of 50, and this time you have Congress at around 30-31 out of 50. So essentially, the roles have reversed in Kittur, Karnataka. Roles have reversed in Madhya Karnataka. Roles have reversed in yeah, these regions. So yes, you are right when you tell that not all Lingayats have deserted BJP, but there enough doubts were put into the minds of Lingayats, wherein Lingayats for the first time in almost 3-4 decades have voted not as a Lingayat bloc, but as the individual subsects within Lingayat, and that has made all the difference. So, for example, you have the Panchamasalis, you have the Sadara Lingayats, you have the Ganiga Lingayats. So, all these Lingayats, I think the Congress strategy to put enough doubt into the minds of these Lingayats worked tremendously well for them, wherein these subsects they started looking at their own benefits or their own identity, and I think that helped in for Congress, because that way they were able to poach all these extra seats from the actual BJP bastion. Adit?
There the vote shares have gone down. So, and what is interesting is Kalyan Karnataka, or the old Hyderabad Karnataka, where your Gulbarga, your Bidar, all those regions where Mr. Kharge strongholds, right?
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
Bellary, I think, is there as well, where the
Raichur, Bella, yeah, yeah.
Raichur, correct. So that's where Congress was generally considered stronger. BJP
Hmm.
has actually BJP had made some gains last time, but Congress has wrested those back. So last time
Yes.
they won 15 and Congress was 26 and 21, and Congress got those 5 seats back. And if you remember, in 2019, BJP swept all the, even Mr. Kharge after a long time lost Gulbarga. So I'm saying there is a chance that those Lok Sabha seats are not very safe for BJP now. there. Now I actually think that the Lingayat seats, they may come back to BJP. So I was actually tweeting this, that now BJP is looking at more of a 2014 Lok Sabha type situation, where it was like a 19-9 or something like that, rather
Yeah,
than a
yeah.
complete sweep. Again, I don't want to extrapolate, but these are just, trends that we might see. Then the second one is Old Mysore, which is the South Karnataka region. Or the third one, I'm sorry. Wow, I mean, 28 seats gained for the Congress. Is this a endorsement, because that's where the Vokkaliga belt is? Is this an endorsement of DK Shivkumar? I don't think the Congress has made such gains since SF Krishna was the chief minister.
Yeah, 3 points there. Let's start with the point that you raised. Uh,
Yes.
I think a year and a half ago, DK Shukmar openly started telling, even I am a Wakaliga, as Wakaliga, you can vote for me, and I that way I will become the chief minister, and that way you will still have a Wakaliga chief minister. So that way, A, you will have your own chief minister, B, you will also have political recognition. Three, you will also have political stability. So I think that was the message that DK Shivkumar had for that reason. Now,
Hmm.
while Congress went ahead with that strategy of trying to
Hmm.
convince the Wakaligas, there was another thing that was happening. BJP
Hmm.
went very, very aggressive in this region, not taking JDS into confidence. In fact, whatever BJP said, JDS got angry, and there was almost tooth and nail fight on a daily basis between
Hmm.
JDS and BJP. So what
Hmm.
you essentially had was, forget the district headquarters of Mandya or Hassan. You
Hmm.
had BJP and JDS fighting tooth and nail in smaller towns like
Hmm.
Srirangpatna, Sakleshpura, Belur,
Hmm. Hmm.
then a couple of seats in Tumkur district.
Correct.
So essentially, what happened was, while BJP started getting JDS votes,
Hmm.
BJP was always the third party there, and the first party
Correct.
JDS lost around 10,000, 12,000, 14,000 votes. All that
Correct.
came to BJP. BJP was in no place to convert them as a seat victory, and Congress, by virtue of getting even 3, 4,000 extra votes, they were
Hmm.
able to register wins all across that region. So I
So
think I
that's
think
what
BJP
that
made a
that
strategic blunder there. Yeah.
so I was going to say, let's look at a seat called Pavagada. Okay, this is again heart of in Tumakaru district, right? And a JDS Congress thing. Now this is where it gets very interesting. If you look at the 2013 results, this was the 2013 results, where the Congress, or 2018, I'm sorry, not 13, the Congress won the seat from KM Thivarayappa by 700 by 409 votes. Okay, and BJP gets 14,000 votes. JDS still pulls that 72,000 votes. BJP from 14,000 goes to 7,000 votes. Guess where the additional 7,000 votes go? At the BJP, straight to the Congress,
Yeah.
straight to the
Yeah.
so the whole logic, and there are a few seats like that, and there are a few seats where the JDS votes have shifted to the BJP and the Congress have won and widened their margins. So the
Yes.
whole concept that, you cannot analyze Karnataka just by, like, one seat or something like that. Let me give you
Definitely. Yeah.
a example of Nipani, which is a seat in North Karnataka that the BJP won. Guess who the number two party was? NCP, Sharad Pawar's NCP. So,
Yes.
because, again, a Marathi dominated seat, where you had the Shashikala Anna Sahib Jole winning, right? But again, by 7,000 votes, which, anything could happen. Then you essentially had a three-way fight there, but JDS was nowhere even there. Congress was the
Hmm.
number three party. So there are such very complicated sort of seats in there. Another seat you talked about was Mandya, right? Now Mandya was considered to be a Congress stronghold. Then Sumalata went contested as an independent, and then she became a Lok Sabha MP from Mandya. And looks like BJP gets 30,000 votes, which it's
Yes.
not very strong typically in Mandya.
I mean, this is the first time BJP has got so many votes in Mandya.
Exactly. And also, okay, in Mandya, sorry, I keep forgetting it's Mandya or Mandya. So Mandya, that's the right
Mandya.
Kannada way to say it. And to
Mandya. Yeah.
and to give you guys perspective, BJP in 2000 in 2014 Lok Sabha got 80,000 votes in Mandya Lok Sabha. So they only had a 7% presence there, and then in the Vidhan Sabha seat, right, where BJP is not even present, they jump up to 30,000 votes. So what happens is a JDS seat where JDS usually wins by 70,000 votes, that vote has gone to the BJP, and then Congress, which gets around 50-60,000 votes, maintained that and won the seat.
Exactly,
So
exactly. So this has been the story in the old Mysore region, all across the region, wherein the aggressive fighting between the first party and the third party has literally helped the second party, that is the Congress.
so they absolutely.
And both Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivakumar anyway come from this region, so this has been totally sweet news for them.
Yeah, and so that's what I was trying to tell people, that basically what has happened is in old Mysore, actually, the JDS BJP fighting have actually helped the Congress. So the
Yes,
erosion of vote hasn't really happened in old Mysore. The erosion of vote has happened in Kittur, Karnataka. It has happened
yes,
in the Lingayat dominated belt, and the gains of vote, the only region where BJP has gained is the Bengaluru region.
Bengaluru
So
region. Yes,
and we'll go talk about that. And this is when we talk about these amazing results of India, that where we talk about crores and lakhs. Let me show you a great result that has come from Bengaluru in the seat of Gandhinagar, where Dinesh
Gandhinagar. Yeah,
Gundurao, the son of R Gundurao, was fighting. Look at the margins. It's 105 seats. Saptagiri Gowda is 105 seats short, and you want to have a lot of fun while looking at this. Look at who gets 325 seats. The ally of BJP, Republican Party of India, Athavle. How would Mr. Saptagiri Gowda like Ramdas Athavle to say to his candidate, "Ke bhai, these 325 votes should go to BJP." That is why even the chota mota parties matter, where they good. One independent, I mean, one of these independents, doesn't split the vote, those vote goes to any of the candidate. So that's how close this election was, and this is a high profile seat in the heart of Bangalore.
oh, totally. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dinesh Gundurao, BJP tried their level, but Saptagiri Gowda is actually the son of former BJP MP Ramchandra Gowda. So he had been, I think he contested last time around as well. He was not able to convert then as well. This
Correct.
time it was considered to be very, very tight, and we see the result now. But yeah, you are right. I mean, BJP's strategy should have been much better.
Absolutely. So Kishore, let's look at region by region now and talk about, then we'll talk about specific seats. Whatever you talk about, I'm going to pull up that seat, and
Okay.
we'll look at it for the people. But look at so the coastal Karnataka. This is the coastal Karnataka where BJP holds their bastions, but then Congress makes some gains right here, right
Yeah.
now. This is your Gulbarga, Bidar, all that regions where Congress is holding strong, except for this couple of seats right here where BJP
Bidar, yeah.
actually
Bidar is where BJP has done well,
has
Bidar
done well.
district. But
Yes.
apart from that one district, the entire region BJP has been whitewashed.
BJP has been whitewashed, exactly, in Karnataka. So in Kalyan, Karnataka, and this is the Mr. Kharge's stronghold. So this
Yes.
was a bit of a prestige issue for him also, because he lost his seat. This you're
Yes,
talking
and
about.
just a minute before we move to the other region. So in Kalyan Karnataka, there is a lot of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe population, including the Lamanis, and
Hmm,
all the extra reservation benefit and the other the category adjustment that BJP tried does not seem to have worked. In fact, the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes have deserted BJP totally, and I think
hmm.
that is what you see now. So
Now,
even the scheduled caste left and a bit of scheduled tribes who were with the BJP, they have deserted the party and they've all en masse moved to the Congress in that region.
and the thing is, they had voted for them in the assembly, so it's not like they had deserted them in the assembly elections. They had voted. If you look at these seats right here, like Kudiligi and Kanakagiri, these are all seats that BJP won last time, and they went to the Congress. Gulbarga Dakshin, Gulbarga Rural, they still held Gulbarga Rural, but Gulbarga Dakshin, Gangavati, this is Mr. Kharge's area, and that seat now went back to the Congress. Devadurga, Karnataka again. So very interesting sort of jumps there. But and Bellary. So we were talking about Bellary. This was the original stronghold. This is probably the first election that happened in Karnataka in Bellary after the death of Mrs. Sushma Swaraj. And Sushma Swaraj was the one who planted the flag of BJP in Bellary 25 years ago, along with the Reddy brothers and so forth, formed
Yes.
alliances and took on Sonia Gandhi. And this is the first time since then that Congress has actually made inroads into Bellary. And some heavyweights of the BJP, like Mr. B. Sriramulu and all, they have tasted defeat there.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
so the Reddy brothers, I think, again, for them it was quite difficult to taste defeat now. I mean, they thought that it will be easier for them, but yeah, it's the same story across all regions for BJP candidates. This time around, at last count, I think 12 or 13 BJP ministers had lost this time, and this is no different from 2018 when around 18 Congress ministers had lost under in the Siddaramaiah cabinet. So
yeah.
anti-incumbency is quite a potent force in
But
Karnataka. So
this
it's
was
not.
this was the shocking one, Kishore, for me, because Gali Lakshmi Aruna, the wife of the Kalyana Rajya Pragati Paksha, G Janardhan Reddy's party, right?
Yes.
He won his own seat and his wife lost. And
Wife lost,
then,
wife and brother, they were in fight against each other. So number 5 BJP Somsekhar Reddy, he is actually the brother of Janardhan Reddy.
correct. But here is the curious part of that. Even if you add up their votes, they still don't. They still don't, or they come very close, or they still don't. I think the Congress still got more votes, even if you add up their votes.
Exactly.
So
So the anger was not. Yeah. So the anger was much more than BJP had anticipated. Correct.
Yes, exactly. So I'm like saying, and when Bellary B. Sriramulu, who almost defeated Siddaramaiah in his seat of Varuna, lost his own seat by 25,000 votes.
Yeah, in Badami, but yeah.
I'm sorry, in Badami, not in Varuna. I'm sorry, in Badami. In Varuna, he actually got defeated by JDS. This time, he won by a significant margin. But so if you even if you look at Badami, the seat again there, BJP Congress won that seat by 10,000 votes.
Yes.
So BB Chimanakatti
Exactly.
wins. So I think again this was a seat that BB Chimanakatti was dropped last time, and Siddaramaiah took that seat over, but they rectified that error. And again a 3-way contest where Janata Dal Secular gets 25% of the vote, and a party with less than 40% of the vote wins the seat.
Yes.
So
yeah. So again the same story. Strategically, they have made blunder after blunder after blunder, and that is what you see today.
So this was what 2018 was with 104 BJP. But if you look, this goes away and look at how this is 2023.
No, I think you are doing the reverse. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I meant this is 2023, and then this is the saffron of the BJP, and look where all those terms.
Yeah, they're getting wiped out, and essentially you only have.
And this is the crucial region. The Lingayat belt is where that would hurt the most. So now let me ask you the important question. Look at the green of JDS evaporating. This is all being taken over by the Congress. Let me ask you this, Kishore. Yeah. Did BJP blunder by dropping B.S. Yediyurappa?
Okay, I'll have to give you a longer answer for this. Bear with me. 2018, we had 104 for BJP. At that time, Yediyurappa was hell bent on trying to stitch up a coalition or whatever possible. Just like how in Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis was given a free hand. Yediyurappa expected that kind of a free hand. Initially, BJP thought it would be possible, but somehow it did not. There was a JDS and Congress post-poll alliance for around a year. 2019 election, they fought together, but somehow BJP still managed to win 25 out of 28. And then immediately after that, Yediyurappa started devoting his complete time on bringing the coalition government down. And eventually you had around 18 MLAs from JDS and Congress coming over. and BJP able to form a government. Now, what happened at that time was the central high command of BJP was totally not in favor of forming a government in Karnataka. So much so that Modi did not even tweet a congratulatory note to Yediyurappa. So the actual anger of Lingayat that you are talking about today was actually shown back then, where that was the first embarrassment for Yediyurappa as a leader, as a Lingayat leader, wherein Modi did not acknowledge, forget flying down to Bangalore. He did not even tweet out in public telling congratulations to Yediyurappa. So, point number one. Point number two, for that 1.5 year period or 2 year period that Yediyurappa was around, uh, Modi continued to give him a cold shoulder. There was no direct communication between them, and eventually the Central High Command had its way, and they arm twisted Yediyurappa to resign. Now, the visuals obviously showed sulking and crying Yediyurappa, openly telling that I'm giving up on my own volition. But I think it's open secret that Delhi had other plans, which then meant that Delhi wanted to control the strategy, control the narrative, and control the electioneering strategy for the party in Karnataka. Now, what happened then is, although you had a Lingayat replacing Lingayat, Bommai replacing Yediyurappa, the Lingayats themselves, I think, were not convinced that BJP was serious and sincere about their respect for the Lingayats. Now, so much so that with just around 3-4 months left for the term to end, Yadurappa was somewhere else. He was not even in the main fray of things, and all he was asking was, I need around 50 of my own people to be given tickets. I need my son to be made the deputy CM if he wins the MLA seat. Now, obviously, Delhi had already made up its mind. There was no way they would make a U-turn. So they said, nothing doing. We'll try to fight on our own. Now, sometime with just around 2.5 months left, Delhi realized that you cannot win the election without Yediyurappa. That was when Amit Shah came down to Yediyurappa's house. They made a public show of treating Vijayendra well, so on and so forth. Now, probably Yediyurappa and BJP might have made amends. Yediyurappa might have forgotten all the bad blood, and they might have decided, okay, what's gone is gone. Let's try to fight together. So on and so forth. But then I think while the leaders were okay, they patched up. I think the people did not think about it this way. I think the people, the Lingayats, might have felt shortchanged. They might have felt that our tallest leader, Yediyurappa, was treated badly. Even if Yediyurappa shows grace and poise, I think we'll have to still not trust BJP simply because they are willing to tinker the winning combination. So I think that was all the sequence of events. Now today, in hindsight, if you see what has happened with so much of seats being lost, and I think by latest count you have around 35 Lingayat MLAs of Congress today. I think this is an opportunity that BJP has messed up completely. And today, yes, I mean, if you want to ask me that question with this kind of a longish answer, I would tell BJP made a blunder by removing Yediyurappa midway through that term. If they had told you can be the CM till the end of the term, and then probably we'll go ahead with a new phase. Then probably Lingayats might have still voted for the BJP. But this time around, I think with that kind of an abrupt change, I think Lingayats thought enough is enough, and we might have to teach BJP a hard learned lesson, and that is what we see today.
Interesting. So that is one theory. The second theory obviously could be that maybe the Lingayat vote did not completely wholesale left leave the BJP, but there is a theory of polarization, counter polarization, where the BJP was seen as a Lingayat party and the Ahinda vote that Siddaramaiah talks about coalesced around, right? This is the Patel non-Patel situation
Correct.
where in Gujarat, where they talk about the calm, and then all the non-calm votes polarized in favor of
Yeah.
BJP. That is the thing. But the fact is the Lingayat vote may have shifted only statewide. The Lingayat vote may come back very decisively for the national election. But my question is, Kishore, as a long time analyst and a resident of Karnataka, can BJP win the Lok Sabha seats that they want to without Yediyurappa being in charge of ticket distribution and strategy?
I think it's difficult now, simply
Yeah.
because the Lingayat have gone away. It is difficult even for Lingayat, even for Yediyurappa at his age of 80 years, for him
Hmm.
to go region by region, try to convince the Lingayat to come
Hmm.
back to their original god. I
Hmm.
think that's going to be extremely difficult. But Karnataka votes differently for national elections. So that way, people might still want to prefer BJP and Modi, and
Hmm.
therefore Lingayat might vote for the BJP. But that does not mean, I mean, even if BJP wins around 18, 19, and pretty much every Lingayat stronghold seat,
Hmm.
that still does not imply that the Lingayats have come back to the BJP.
Hmm. And you think
See, okay,
yeah.
the way I look at things is, unless and until you have some kind of a vacuum or
Hmm. Hmm.
some kind of an external force,
Hmm.
communities do not move away from one party to another.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what happened in Delhi, right? You had Sheila Dikshit winning election after election. Unless and until there was that vacuum created where there was total trust deficit, an
Hmm.
Aam Aadmi Party would not have come to power. You had
Correct.
BJP trying everything for 3 terms, 4 terms, and still nothing happened.
Hmm.
Punjab, pretty much the same thing, right? There was a trust deficit, and
Hmm.
almost every person who would have either voted for Shiromani Akali Dal or Congress, everybody
Congress.
shifted over simply because there was that trust deficit, and they decided to go en masse towards Aam Aadmi Party. So I think
Correct.
that's the kind of jolt that the Lingayats have given to the
So
BJP this time.
and let me give you guys some perspective about what we are talking about, right? That about why this is indeed a very troubling situation for the BJP. I'm going to share the screen and show the results of the 2004 elections, right? So let's see. 2004 elections, BJP gets 79 seats. Okay, BJP only contests 128. They are, they are in alliance. I think they were in alliance with the JDU at that time, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah,
Ramakrishna Hegde was a party, so together they won about 84 seats. Correct. Now, I think there is a typo here. I'm pretty sure JDS didn't contest 20 and win 58. This was probably Devegowda's best election because Siddaramaiah led the JDS campaign. But look at
yes,
this, the 80 seats that BJP wins in Karnataka, look at the cluster. This is your Lingayat belt right here, right? They win a few seats, and then there is a smattering of seats in Old Mysore and Bengaluru region. Basically, they are not even present here, essentially, except for a few pockets and Bengaluru. And they are a party of coastal Karnataka
yes.
and Bombay
Kittur
Karnataka
Karnataka.
or
Yeah,
Kittur Karnataka. Right now, compare this result to the result from yesterday, and look at this, and you can see the map should be a lot more saffron for the BJP, because this was their base. This is what they start with. And 2004 is a very important year because this is when they lost the national election, and even after that they won this much retained. So this is after the Karnataka election, or sorry, it happens with the national elections. I'm sorry,
together. Yeah,
it's together. So I'm saying at a point where BJP is actually losing national elections, actually gaining ground in Karnataka or holding on to its base, right? Similar thing happens in 2008 when BJP wins. They absolutely sweep. I mean, they have 110 seats and they absolutely sweep. 2013 is a misnomer, because
yeah. They had
Yediyurappa
fought.
has
Yeah,
split. Yeah, and they basically 13% vote goes back to. But then 2018, Yediyurappa comes back, and then you see these clusters returning again.
yeah.
So these
Exactly.
clusters, when BJP loses, this is a big thing, and they have to really be mindful of that. Yeah. So Kishore, like, let's look at the way forward, and then we can talk about the heavyweights and the fun trivia about these elections that you want to talk to our listeners and viewers about.
Okay. Okay. I think the way forward for Congress is quite easy. They would want to capitalize on this. Whoever becomes the chief minister, we still don't know. But apparently, Amit Shah claimed that the Congress High Command had already told DK Shivkumar that if you come back victorious, we'll make you the chief minister. We
Hmm.
still don't know if that is true or not. We'll get to know tomorrow or maybe in a
Hmm.
day or two. But whoever wins, either it is Sidramaya or DK Shivkumar, you'll have Congress using Karnataka in whatever way possible, especially because they had announced a lot of freebies
Hmm.
in their manifesto. And
Hmm.
what they will do is they will extrapolate the same thing to 2024. And remember the Nyay scheme that you had in 2019. Now
Hmm.
I think Congress will try to uh, uh, do repeat the same thing. Maybe not only add it just in the manifesto, but also try to tom about it, try to talk more and more about it,
Hmm.
and ensure that all the poor, the lower middle class, and the middle class hear
Hmm.
about it loud and clear. So I think that is what the Congress will try to do. Now, obviously, they would not want any kind of power struggles within Bangalore, within Karnataka, simply because it will have a negative impact on Congress's momentum heading into 2024.
Hmm.
JDS, I think it will be very difficult. Even Revanna, who used to win by 30,000, 40,000 margin, today has won just by around 3, 4,000 votes. I may be wrong about the number, but the margin has come down to that small range. So again,
Hmm.
it's quite clear that JDS has taken a beating. It will be very, very difficult for them. There will be a lot of introspection needed for them. But
Hmm.
no matter which way you look at it, Congress, Congress and BJP will try to gobble up JDS in the old
JDS.
Mysore.
Absolutely. So let's start with that. No, let's start with JDS in the old Mysore, and we can talk about the heavyweights that
Yeah.
have lost the election. And there is no better seat to start with, than talk about the Ramanagaram seat of Ramanagaram. It's a very interesting district, Ramanagaram, because Ramanagaram, you have a DK Shivkumar's and what's his name, Kumaraswamy, almost sharing the honors, right? And the
Hmm.
Ramanagaram, Bengaluru rural region.
Yeah,
And here
both
is
of
where
them.
it gets interesting.
Yeah, both of them are from the same district. Until
Yeah.
now, it has four seats. Until
Hmm.
now, every time around, Congress used to win only in Kanakapura. So it used to be one for Congress, three
Hmm.
for JDS. This
Hmm.
time around, it's the reverse.
Correct.
Three for Congress, only one Ramanagara for JDS, with only one Channapatna for JDS, where Kumaraswamy has won. Ramanagara is where you had Nikhil Kumaraswamy contesting,
Hmm.
and even he has lost. What you see now is the entire Muslim consolidation in favor of Congress. So even
Correct.
the Muslims have voted strategically, and
Hmm.
earlier in all the seats where JDS had a good chance, Muslims
Hmm.
would not mind voting for JDS. But this
Hmm.
time around, I think they have really thrown caution to the wind and gone wholeheartedly towards the Congress. And that is the
Correct.
reason. That is the reason why you see even Nikhil Kumaraswamy losing by that big a margin of 11,000 votes.
Yeah, and Ramanagara is about 11% Muslim, if I'm not mistaken, 10 to
It has a
11%.
heavy Muslim population. Yeah, yeah.
So the guy who's won, H.A. Iqbal Hussain, he's a Muslim candidate, obviously, and he lost to Nikhil Kumaraswamy. I mean, he won against Nikhil Kumaraswamy, and of course, BJP getting 7% votes. Now, I wonder if JDS is thinking that, oh, did some of the Hindu vote go to the BJP that we should have gotten to vote the get. But I mean, this seat obviously has some Muslim population, and I think this is one of the heavy ones, so heavy Muslim populated seats. So I think Congress gets a sweep here. Another interesting seat, and we'll go to list by list of that, is Chamarajanagar, right, where you have another heavyweight of BJP, V Somanna. losing to see Putrakanna Shetty by about 7,000 votes. So
Yeah,
Congress gets again.
Somana used to contest from Nagar in Bangalore city. This
Hmm,
time around, he said, "I'll go and fight in Old Mysore region, Nagar." Apparently,
hmm,
he had a very good chance because he was the district in charge minister. He was the housing minister, and he
hmm,
had built a lot of houses, government housing scheme houses
hmm,
for the needy. So he
hmm.
thought that he would be able to win from this seat, and
Correct.
yet you have a good 4% difference between Congress and the BJP here.
Yes, so let's go the list by list. Obviously, Bommai, Shivkumar, Siddaramaiah are going to win.
Oh,
Ramalika Reddy. Huh.
by the way, DK Shukmar has won by a margin of 1 lakh votes.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite unbelievable. So BJP put
Although
like,
you had a BJP sitting minister go there and try to challenge him, that sitting
uh,
minister is third, uh, poor third.
he's
He
got
only got
less
around
seats than JDS, and then DK Shivkumar got no. DK Shivkumar has won by 1.2 lakh votes. I mean, that's a
1 point
insane
exactly.
margin. Yeah,
Yeah. So, I mean,
and
that's the reason why you call Kanakapura as the Republic of
the
of
Republic of Kanakapura.
yeah.
So I mean, let's look at the heavyweights then. Let's look at the seats here, and if you can talk a little bit about who are the heavyweights who lost. V Somana obviously was fighting from both seats, Varuna against Siddaramaiah and Chamrajanagar, and he lost both. So
Yes.
if you can talk a little bit about the list here.
Yeah. One solace for BJP is that Jagdish Shettar lost. I mean,
Hmm,
they would be happy that they were able to teach a lesson to Jagdish Shettar. Jagdish Shettar, I mean, see, if he had won, he would have definitely become a minister
hmm,
in the new Congress cabinet. But somehow that did not happen. He seems to have lost by a decent enough margin. I think 10, 12, 13,000 margin. I did not see the final
hmm,
numbers, but
hmm,
he lost by a decently good margin. So that was one thing that BJP will be happy about. The others, like for example, Ashoka,
hmm.
Kanakpura he lost, but in Padmanab Nagar he won by a good margin. I think
Yeah, which
50,000
is his
votes.
safe seat. I mean, he's won there for a long time now.
Yes. So
Hmm,
that's done. Janardhan Reddy has won from Gangavati on his own party ticket. So that's done. You in for Basavaraj Bommai in his district, Haveri, that is the only seat where BJP has won. All the others Congress has won. So
hmm.
that's the kind of defeat that BJP had to taste across that region. Now, GT
Correct.
Deve Gowda, the last in that line there in the on the screen, he had defeated Siddaramaiah last time from Chamundeshwari. He has increased his margin this time around as well. Although
Right.
JDS seems to have gone out of favor, he for whatever reason he continues to be growing from strength to strength. Lakshman
Correct.
Savadi on the other side of the on the other column there, he
Hmm.
again was a high-profile Lingayat leader who walked away from BJP, came over
Hmm.
to Congress, and
Because he was
he
denied a ticket and he's always won from Athani.
exactly. So remember last time we spoke that the Congress guy had moved over to BJP, the BJP guy moved over to Congress, and
Hmm.
that's why you have Savati now winning from Athani there.
Correct.
So
Hmm.
again, the same story of Lingayats thinking that we had to teach BJP a lesson. Now,
Hmm.
just one row below, Ramesh Jarkiholi, he was the
Hmm.
leader of those 18 MLAs
Hmm.
who deserted the alliance
Congress.
and
Correct.
moved over to BJP. Now
Hmm.
he actually put his foot down and told, I will get you 13, 14 out of 18 from Belagavi, and
Hmm.
all you have to do is you have to field the candidates whom I talk about. So
Hmm.
if he is my candidate, you will have to field him, and
Hmm.
I'll ensure that BJP wins 13, 14 from Belagavi. Now, sadly, BJP thought that that was actually workable, and they
Hmm.
put all his candidates. But Lakshman Savari lost a ticket in that confusion, and he moved away. And what you have today is, I think, BJP only having around 6 or 7 out of 18 from Belagavi district. So, in a
And we
way,
said
BJP.
And we said
Yeah,
before, Kishore, that if BJP doesn't get 60-70% strike rate in Belagavi or Bangalore, they are done for because.
exactly.
Hmm,
So yeah, BJP actually ended up punting on the wrong horse in
hmm,
Belgavi. They went behind Ramesh Jarkiholi, and while
hmm,
doing so, they kind of lost the entire district. Yeah, you are right.
hmm.
We had
And
spoken about this.
yes, and so another interesting thing is Priyank Kharge also. They ran a pretty. Is the son of Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, and there was a sort of a high-profile fight there also in Chittarpur, but he also won. And what is interesting is the Muslim faces of the Congress. UT Khadir Farid or the guy who is he wants from Bangalore. The CM.
Hmm.
I forget. There is another Muslim face I read who also won from near the Mysore region that he won as well. So there are a lot of Rahim
From
Khan from
Narasimha.
Bidar,
Hmm.
correct? Huh?
Hmm.
So there are some very interesting things that there is complete Muslim consolidation
Exactly. Yeah.
in favor of the Congress.
Yeah, exactly. So, as I told you earlier, JDS used to get a bit of Muslim votes. This time
Mhm.
around, the Muslims have deserted JDS and they have
Mhm.
gone en masse as one single community towards the Congress. Yes.
Mhm. Absolutely. And then CT Ravi, he also loses from Chikmagalur. So,
He, he,
so a seat that he's won for a long time.
he won for a long time. This time around, his own PA had moved out. He became the
Hmm.
Congress candidate and defeated. So you have a Shishya defeating a Guru there. Vijayendra somehow this has to be spoken about.
Yeah.
Yadurappa used to win by a handsome 50-60,000 margin. This time
Hmm.
around, you had Congress not giving a ticket to a guy who thought everybody would win. He
Hmm.
went out, the Congress aspirant went out, became an independent.
Hmm.
Congress and that independent both got more votes than Vijayendra, and
Wow.
Vijayendra won by a small margin of 10,000 or 12,000 votes. So
Yeah.
if Congress had actually given ticket to the deserving candidate, then you might have actually had a situation where Vijayendra himself would have lost.
And I have to say, the Aam Aadmi Party was moving all sorts of things. Rajdeep Sardesai, who normally does reasonable election analysis, featured Brijesh Kalappa on his show, and his fight for the Brijesh Kalappa got 600 votes. Okay, I mean,
You
so
had yeah. So the funny story there. Aam Aadmi Party in the entire state has got 2,24,000 votes, and you have 224 seats, which means you have got 1,000 votes per
votes per seat.
constituency.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's unbelievably bad. So, I mean, I don't know what they were thinking, but whatever, unka natija unko mubarak. Uh, Suresh Kumar is, old BJP hand. He's
Yes.
continuously won Rajaji Nagar for a long time. And if you even look at now, one other seat before we get to Rajaji was Sakleshpur, which BJP was
Hmm.
actually hoping to rest, and BJP did, cement Manju. They had a
Yeah, they
good
have
face, and we
won this
talked
time.
about this.
They have won this time around. Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
they and
So
HK Kumaraswamy is again unrelated to Mr. HD Kumaraswamy, as we said, but is an old JDS hand, and so I mean it's a narrow margin, but they won by 3,000 votes in Sakleshpur, and
right.
and seats like Mahadevpura, old BJP things where they have actually increased the margins like by 50,000 votes. As Manjula wins by 50,000 votes and stuff. So
Manjura is actually wife of Arvind Limbavali, and
hmm,
Arvind was not given the ticket. Wife was given the ticket, and wife
hmm.
continues to keep the seat for BJP. Yeah,
Keep the seat for BJP. Correct. So Krishna Rajaragara, of course, Congress wins. But as we were talking about, like these old seats like Kolar, where BJP wanted to do, these are old Congress seats. Congress is making a vicious comeback. Like Kolar, Goldfield, the KGF seat, 55% vote share to the Congress.
yes,
Again, Kolar itself, 44% vote share to the Congress. So I mean, it is a significant victory.
pretty much. I mean, entire Kolar district, BJP has struggled all the time, and they have
Yeah.
not had a single MLA from that district. This time around, also the trend continues.
So this was the Hubli Dharwad central seat, and BJP Jagdish Shettar lost by 35,000 votes. Hubli, of course,
Mm.
this is all very strong BJP. The funny thing is, Hubli Dharwad East. Congress actually won, but West again they lost, and by a huge margin. BJP won by 40,000. So these are all very RSS strong seats. But what
Correct.
I was hearing on today's show is that they are contemplating a strategy where Jagdish Shettar will be a Lok Sabha candidate against Prahlad Joshi, and they would do a
Mhm.
Brahmin versus Lingayat sort of battle in Hubli Dharwad, and that would be a very interesting sort of situation because again it's a Lingayat dominated seat.
Yes, I think that narrative has actually worked wonders for the Congress this time
Hmm.
around, especially because they were accusing BL Santosh
Hmm.
of sidelining all the vocal leaders,
Hmm.
and people like Jagadish Shettar not getting a ticket, Yadurappa being sidelined,
Hmm.
and Bommai himself being a vice chief minister, and
Hmm.
all the Brahmins continuing to get their tickets, like for example
Hmm.
Suresh Kumar continuing
Hmm.
to get a ticket. So I think that was the narrative that Congress had floated,
Yeah.
and that seems to have worked in the Lingayat pocket.
But again, Suresh Kumar and all their old hands, like you expect them to win. I mean, they have continuously delivered, and that sort of narrative falls around Bengaluru as well because that is the only region where BJP has actually picked up seats this time. So
Exactly, yeah, yes. So
otherwise,
they've done much better than earlier. Yes.
earlier, correct. And if you look, I mean, these are all about 4 or 5 seats. Ashwat Narayan held his seat, Ashoka held Padmanabhan Nagar, and Suresh Kumar, Muniratna. These are all Muniratna actually bagged back Rajarajeshwar Nagar
Mm.
from Bangalore. Ramanagaram, as we talked, the Congress won, and basically they are considering Ramnagar district as a part of Bangalore because it's very neighboring, very close
Mm.
to it.
Mm.
But you had again ST Somashekar getting Yashwantpura back from the Congress. So it is BJP did pick up 4 seats, Mahalakshmi layout, another one. So Congress used to do pretty well in the area, and there is also another seat which is very interesting where there is recounting happening, which is the seat of Jayanagar,
Jayanagar,
where
yeah.
Somya Reddy is the daughter of Ramalinga Reddy, who's the sitting MLA and now who's another victor from BTM layout. And I think they are going recounting, and Tejasvi Surya and both DK Shivkumar, have considerable presence in Bangalore. So we are going to see what they say about Jayanagar. This is a Bangalore South, very high profile seat.
Very
Uh,
high profile, yeah.
so yeah, so in closing, as we go out of the result discussions, what do you see, what are your key takeaways, and what would you be your closing statement for these things?
I think strategically the BJP mishandled Karnataka totally badly. Nobody
Hmm.
could see the undercurrent. Not even Congress, because we all kept telling that this is not a wave election. Every seat will be fought independently. I think BJP had a seat level strategy, whereas Congress had a state level strategy. I think that was the
Hmm.
difference. Congress continued putting allegation after allegation, knowing that at least if a few of them stick against BJP, that might actually help them.
Hmm.
And stick they did, because all the corruption allegation, the Lingayat sidelining allegation,
Hmm.
also the price rise that they kept talking about. I think all these would have had a compounding effect one after the
Hmm.
other, and therefore you had that kind of a decimation for the BJP. So
so
when they thought we can actually win seat after seat with individual strategy in every constituency, they were
hmm.
missing the key point that the entire state population may have anger against us, and therefore our individual constituency strategy would amount to nothing.
So what do you think then? Do you think there is a chance that they might actually do that or no?
No, I mean, see, for BJP, I think that they have to go back to the drawing board. They'll have to reconstitute the state party at the state level. I think all the people who have now lost will find it very difficult to come back to political relevance again.
Hmm. Hmm.
Forget that, for example. Even now, BJP will have a tough time in identifying who their leader of opposition will be. You hardly have a few leaders left. You have Ashoka, you have Ashwat Narayan, you have probably they might have Vijayendra as well, although he's the first time MLA. So
Hmm.
again, Suresh Kumar might be another possibility. So we
Hmm.
don't know. BJP is in that kind of a state now, wherein they'll
Hmm.
have to rebuild the entire uh, guard fortress that they had for themselves,
Fortress. Correct. So
and
it's
therefore
a,
and therefore, I think tactically, strategically, they had blundered, and
hmm.
they'll have to reconstitute everything for themselves in the state.
Interesting. So basically, you're saying that yes, it is a point. It's a very interesting point where there are things that have already happened, but ultimately, it's going to be like a very day-to-day sort of situation for the BJP, where they look at this one issue at a time. And what they have to really realize is that this is a Vidhan Sabha battle. You can't extrapolate it to Lok Sabha, but you also don't want कि is battle की छींटे Lok Sabha पे आए, because they have much larger things at stake, because the situation is that in Bengal, Bihar and Maharashtra, they are slated to lose some seats because of
Correct.
the impeccable strike rate they struck with last time. So it will happen, and so they
And you will
cannot
have to
afford to
add
lose
and you'll no and
Karnataka.
you'll have to add Karnataka to that list anyway, because
Huh.
you again in Karnataka you had 25 plus one independent out of 28, which is a
Hmm.
phenomenal strike rate, and there is
Hmm.
no way BJP would be able to match that. And
Match, especially, I mean, like seats like Kolar we talked about, like, or
Gulbarga,
Gulbarga
Kolar,
again,
yeah.
and yeah, those seats are, it's going to be very difficult. So if they do, unbelievable, we are headed for like a historic mandate, almost quasi Rajiv Gandhi post 84
Hmm.
type of mandate. But if the more likelihood is like they'll have to compensate, but we'll do a detailed discussion of seat by seat basis, and I cannot have a Lok Sabha discussion without our friend Mohal Joshi on the podcast, because he'll be he'll have all his projections ready. So we'll do that. But thank you, Kishore, so much for joining today. Any recommendations you have for our listeners about anything you watched and saw or read beyond, apart from the elections?
Not had the time. I plan to watch Jubilee, but probably
Yeah,
sometime now. Now that the
which
elections
was
are over.
yes, which was our last recommendation. I actually watched a an old I mean, it came out last year, a show called The Old Man, with with I believe Jeff Bridges is the actor. It's an American
Hmm.
show on an old CIA operative, and it's an absolutely stunning show so far. I mean, I'm halfway done, and it's I mean, he's just brilliant. So he still got it, so to speak. So you try and watch it, but do only do that after you've watched Mind Makers, after you've watched the India Rising podcast, after you've like, shared, subscribed. But thank you so much for being with us for this coverage of the Karnataka Assembly elections. The podcast, the politics, will continue. We'll have more discussions with Kishore, and we'll have more discussions about Karnataka as well. But so far, this was a very interesting day. What this pans out, this is we exactly a year from now we'll know, because that's around the same time we'll see the
Yes.
results of the Lok Sabha coming out as well, mid-May 2024. So till then, it's goodbye from all us, and do stay tuned, and we'll be back very soon with more. Thank you so much.
Thank you.